Hey, Perry.
What up, though?
Yo, you guys, we had to listen, okay? We had to come on real right fast and hit a quick one time for the one time. All
Okay.
right. We have our Oscar attire on. Hold on, let me extend my cord here. Oh my goodness, what is going on? Our Oscar attire. You guys can't see all of it. I have the
The
illusion mesh.
glamour.
I
Come
have
on.
the shoulders, I
Them
have the
shoulders
volume in the
back out,
hair.
honey. I don't, you know how them bitches come out and you acting real different. I don't know what the hell's about to happen
I
tonight.
love my shoulders. Hi, you look amazing.
Thank you, sweet pea. I
This is your
appreciate it.
little Oscar situation, your little
It's my little
Oscar
Oscar
number.
situation. This is what I be on the red carpet. And I just come by and just,
Oh,
give a little
oh.
look or
How's my
something.
light? Is my light okay? Do I need more light? I think I need more light.
I think I
Let's
need
try it.
to dim my light a little bit.
Is that good?
There we
How's
go.
that?
Ooh, there we go. Okay. Give me a little drama.
How's my light?
Oh, it looks great, honey.
Does it? Hey,
Oh, it looks great.
everybody. I'm Ashton Grooms. You guys know, advocate and actress. Y'all know the spiel. We ain't gonna do all that today because we got to,
Yeah,
we got stuff to talk
y'all know
about.
what it is.
Who
What up,
you?
though? What up, though? It's P Weezy, the fashion wardrobe stylist here, and as Ashton would say, the socialite. And this here is the Perfectly Abnormal podcast because why do normal and
Yeah.
everything else is what? Boring.
AF. Ooh, we switched it right
We
there. That
switched
was
it right there.
cute.
That was good, right?
Trading places. Now, y'all,
Okay.
I had to get up, right? Because I have been not feeling well. Excuse me. That was but I
Was
really
that a
haven't
play
been feeling.
sick or what?
No, it wasn't. It was a real sick. I really
Oh,
have
okay.
not been feeling well, for real, for real. And I decided I needed to get up tonight and put on, a little lipstick. And we got some stuff to talk about because listen, the Academy Awards was last night. The 94th annual Academy Awards
Baby, it was a
was
night of
last night.
fashion
Mhm.
and drama and history. It was just a lot. It was a
Mhm.
lot. And we have to really dig into this really, really quick, right?
It was. Now this Oscar show was produced by Will Packer. It's been
Mm-hmm.
all the buzz all day long. This Oscars, but not for the reason you would think. Will Smith wins Best Actor. What's her name? Jessica Chastain wins Best Actress. It's a great night. Nobody's
Mm-hmm.
talking about that. What are people talking about, Barry?
They talking about this Chris Rock
Hmm.
and Will Smith situation and people's views on it. I think it just really caused a real big uproar in the country. I mean, the world, honestly, because everybody's talking about it. Everybody
Listen.
is.
So if you guys are living under a rock,
Which I hope not, because honey, that's
excuse
a
me,
big
y'all.
ass rock.
Listen, bear with me, okay? Because I'm still a little ill. But listen,
Okay.
Will Smith, right? So so Chris Rock is on stage and he's doing his little spiel before introducing his category and then ultimately his winner, which ended up being Questlove. Questlove got an Oscar
Shout
for
out
his,
to Questlove.
yeah,
That
for
was
his
great. Like,
amazing documentary. I think it's called Soul Town, Soul Summer, Summer of Soul, something like that.
Yep.
But during Chris Rock's situation, he was kind of going through the audience as comedians do, especially at the Oscars, and he saw Jada, and he proceeds to say, "Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it." That was it, like literally almost verbatim. That's what he said. I watched the tape a lot. Okay.
Oh, I did too. I analyzed that tape.
Now my
Okay.
phone went off. All right. What people probably, fail to realize is that, in Hollywood on Oscar night, it's a big night. And I have a lot of acting peers. And, so my phone was already kind of just, pinging,
Mm-hmm.
When this happened, I was watching live. And as soon as it happened, boom, 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 boom. I mean, everything was going off my watch. Everything was happening. And I initially thought it was staged because I was like, there's no way in the world that this is Hollywood's biggest night. This is
I remember
Will
I text you
Smith's
and I was like, "You think this is
biggest
real?" You
night. You know,
like,
the Oscars are the ocean, right? The
Mhm.
Emmys, the Golden Globes, the People's Choice, the SAG Awards, those are the rivers that flow into the ocean. The ocean
Mhm.
is where all the fish, that's what you want, the ocean. And so at this award season, Will Smith has been, he's been very classy. Laverne Cox made a not so appropriate comment to Jada Smith, and he's been doing great until he wasn't.
I think he had enough, honey. Enough was enough for him.
And Chris Rock caught the brunt of it. Will Smith walks on stage and smacks the fool
Open hand.
out of Chris Rock, turns around, walks back to his seat, and proceeds to win the best actor. What was your thought? What was your thoughts? Because I have mine. Go ahead.
Honey, I had so many thoughts around this whole situation. I think for a lot of us, I know for me, at first, I thought it was just a joke. I thought it was just them playing out something. And it was just like, oh, okay, this is a big thing. And then I thought to myself, once Will went up there and he actually smacked him, and then I heard you heard the scuffle of it. And then he turned around, but Will still had this smile on his face for a second.
Like it was a jovial smile. It was
like it was
playful.
just like a joke or something like that. But
he did.
and then I had to think to myself, because Chris was so thrown off. He was literally like, I was like, Chris Rock is not a good actor like that.
Listen.
I don't think he can really act off a situation that's going to put him in make this so believable.
Well, what got it for me. Go ahead, finish your take, because I need the floor when I give mine. Go ahead.
No, okay, that's fine.
No, go ahead. Do you?
Once he's done it and he's really shocked, and he's like, oh, I just can't believe he just smacked. I just got smacked. And then once Will sat down, and then he said what he said, and he said, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. That's when I knew it was real.
He said
as soon as he said that.
He said mouth with an F too. Just like he just
mouth,
said. Yep.
Fucking mouth.
Yeah.
When he said it the first time, I was like, ooh, it's real. And then he repeated it again. I was like, ooh, this shit is deep. So when I was watching it, my TV kind of cut off a little bit. It was almost like they caught it.
Everybody said. There's always a delay.
There was a delay, and
they cut the
audio off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw, and then literally instantly I went straight. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I went straight to Twitter because I'm like, something just happened. Something happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw the uncensored version. And I was just like, oh shit. Yeah, it shocked the fuck out of me. I think it shocked everybody. It was just like, did it just really happen?
Absolutely. It's funny how we run to Twitter to verify.
Okay, because Black Twitter is gonna get everything. Twitter is going to get every fucking thing about what's going on. What were your initial thoughts? And then we'll talk about the whole consensus behind it all. But what were your initial thoughts when this shit was happening and in play?
Okay. Hold on, let me get this together. I'm so sorry, yeah. So, all right. I'm watching the Oscars with my sister.
Mm-hmm.
And we are at the point where we're getting the Oscars is long, and the best actor category is always usually at the end, the best actor and actress. And so we were kind of just watching and on our phones and just whatever. And then Chris Rock comes out. And I'm like, oh, look at Chris. I feel like I haven't really seen Chris Rock in a minute since I don't even remember.
He always comes out anyway, though.
He peeks out. He peeks out and goes back, and I was like, okay, whatever. So when he made the joke about Jada, I was like, okay, whatever. I didn't think anything of it. I heard it. I was like, oh, I saw her reaction.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how you have a little brother and he does something or says something when your friends come over and you're like, oh, but this wasn't that. This was now I told you. You know what I'm saying? That was stupid. It just wasn't fun. It was real aggravated, right? But Will Smith laughed. So when it happened, I thought it was a stage thing. I don't know why my mind instantly went to it's staged, it's choreographed, it was a fake slap that was not real. Either Will hit the mic to make the impact or Chris hit the mic and you just didn't notice it. It was not real. There's no way that would have happened on Hollywood's biggest night, on Will's biggest night. There's not, even Perry texted me. A lot of people text me and we're like, was that real? As if I would know. And I was like, nah, like there's no way. So after he smacks him, he turns around and walks back to his seat. The audio cuts out. And all you see is Will Smith say,
you can hear, you saw every syllable.
But he still had like a little bit of a grin. Like he still had this slight little, until they went back to him and he had that daddy look. He was like he was serious. Like he was like really serious. And then I didn't hear what Chris Rock said after that. And then the feed kind of trickled back in.
He said, I'm going to keep,
Right. Well, that's the unedited version. I didn't see the unedited. No, none of us saw the unedited version until they released it. But in the real time, it was like, what happened? Listen, man. I don't know what's happening in the world. I don't know. I feel like we are all up in arms. We are all emotionally fucked. And I think it's getting to a lot of people and we aren't realizing it, right? Like whatever we're into, we are so focused on that. We're not realizing how fucked we are mentally and emotionally. I got two things. 2016, Chris Rock made a joke. Oscars So Black, that was a whole movement. A lot of Black actors and even some white actors were boycotting the Oscars because they felt like it was too whitewashed. It was catering to too many white people and not giving Black people enough, acknowledgement. So a lot of people, including Will and Jada Smith, boycotted the award show. Chris Rock hosted that year. So Chris Rock is up there telling a joke and he's like, out of all people, Jada Smith is mad and protesting the Oscars as if she was even invited. And then he makes a reference to Rihanna's panties and basically says, Jada Pinkett Smith wasn't, invited anyway. That was 2016. I was like, people started sharing and I was like, that can't be like that. I just feel like that's one of those things like, okay, you're mad maybe for a year and then that's it. So I started thinking about it. Like when Jada was talking on Red Table Talk, right? And this is just allegedly, this is just me, my opinion, my thought process. She mentioned that she hadn't been well and she started to lose her hair. When you think about chemotherapy drugs, they cause hair loss, right? And I was thinking, maybe there was something deeper. Maybe there was a diagnosis that nobody knows about. Maybe she's dealing with it. Maybe she did deal with it. Maybe there's something way deeper than just hair loss that's going on that caused her daughter, Willow, to even join in solidarity. Maybe there's something a little bit deeper than this, right? And so I was thinking that had to have, because you think about Will Smith, right? Somebody who takes care of his emotional, he travels and he's motivational and he gives these life speeches and he learns all these lessons and he shares them and he writes a book and blah. For that joke, he made a joke about G.I. Jane, the movie. G.I. Jane was a freaking hero. She wasn't a prostitute. She wasn't a drug addict. It was a heroic female movie starring Demi Moore, who had iconically beautiful hair. She shaved it all off. And everybody was like, what is wrong with her? She lost her mind, but it was for this role. So he made the comparison. He's like, well, if you're doing, G.I. Jane 2, Congratulations. I can't wait. What he said did not warrant what he got. Unless there's something deeper that none of us know, or maybe they said, "Hey, bro, keep our name out your mouth forever. Don't say nothing else about us." And he just blatantly did it, and Will Smith remembered and handled that. It wasn't necessary. It wasn't appropriate. There's never a time when anybody should put anybody's hands on anyone. And to do it in front of millions and millions of people. Like,
I totally get that.
what?
I totally get that. I think for me, there's a fine line between laughing together about something and laughing at someone who didn't even ask to be a part of a joke. Right?
Mhm.
Because Jada didn't ask for that at all. And for her to be so outspoken and so much feeling of insecurity and everything else about this in her head and being shaved and everything else, like you said, there must be something deeper. And on top of that, if I'm making this known that I don't like this part about me, why make a joke about that?
But that's the thing, though. Did she make it that, though? She didn't say that she was insecure about her head.
She did. She
When?
did. She's made it. She's been outspoken about that. How that's an insecurity for her, and how she doesn't like the way that she looks with her head being shaved.
I didn't hear that part. I just heard she gave an explanation as to, and then she had Yvonne Orji on the show, like a lot of people that rock their short natural hair. And it was about empowerment, and it was about, education, and
yeah, she wanted to spin it, honey.
I didn't know that she was having issues.
Yeah, she spent that because she was out.
But even still, Chris Rock doesn't watch every episode. I guarantee you, I don't watch every episode of Red Table Talk. So how would he?
He doesn't. However, I feel as though tell me if I'm wrong, but I kind of feel as though that these particular jokes that are said, they're ran through the Academy first, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so with the Academy, should they not be paying attention to the Red Table Talk and things like that?
No, I don't think nobody knew that was going to get the reaction that it did. Nobody knew. Even if they had beef, nobody could have forecasted that.
No, nobody forecasted the situation
something so
and
small.
The reaction that happened.
Because it could have been worse.
It could have been worse. Yes, it could have.
He could have made an entanglement joke.
I think they probably would have rolled that off of their back.
How?
More so.
How is that not worse than talking about if it's an entanglement? He could have said something deep like August Alsina is waiting outside, Jada. It's Chris Rock. He's a comedian. Anything
right, but I don't think that it would have gotten that reaction if they would have talked about August Alsina versus them talking about her hair. Because again, like I said before, she's talked about it being her insecurity. And the thing about it is that we don't know the extent of what she has been talking to Will about and the insecurity. I mean, she's only been vocal about it to us, yes, but I'm sure there's a deeper layer that she's been sharing with her family, and him about her hair loss and what this is all causing for her and her emotional state with it all. So that's why I think it's much deeper than this whole entanglement situation. Because I mean, if that was the case, talking about the entanglement situation, Laverne Cox got her ass slapped weeks ago.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, you're right. Nobody knows what a couple is having conversations about in the bed. She could have been crying and depressed, and this could have been a real thing see that. For her. Yeah, and now she finally has this empowerment and this gumption to come out in front of everybody at the Academy Awards and everywhere that she's been.
She looked absolutely stunning. I didn't like the dress. I loved it. It gave the dramatics that it needed to. Yeah, you was like, it's okay. I remember I texted you about it.
It was just.
I loved it. I love the color. I love the dramatic. I love the high neck. I love the whole big. It just gave a statement. And then her hair being shaved, that literally set it off. Honestly, like it literally let the dress be the focal point and took away from her hair. I think that was the whole point of it. And I commend her stylist for that, because that was the whole focal point. It was just a dress. We weren't going to even focus on her head and being shaved. We focused on that dress. And I think that was the whole point.
So you are saying you agree with Will Smith's actions?
contrary to the unpopular, support, I honestly feel like he was in the right. And let me also caveat to this, because I feel as though the only feeling about all of this that should matter is Jada's throughout it all. So if she's okay with it, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with how he reacted about it, because in the end of it, he was literally just protecting his wife. And sometimes, protection looks totally different for
Yeah,
many
sometimes it
various
looks totally
things.
different, and it could have, as a grown man. Okay. I think Will is what, over 50.
He is over 50.
As a grown man over 50, right? I get it. There's only so much you can take.
Yeah.
It just,
So
like,
here's
you
my
could have
thing.
ran off to the side, got to the backstage, met Chris Rock. You're Will Smith. You could have met
So
Chris Rock. You even could have met him at the Vanity Fair party and said, "Hey, bro," like, or even hit him there. Remember when that thing happened with Beyonce, allegedly, and somebody
Allegedly,
bit her on her cheek or something like that? And
yes.
no, to this day, nobody knows if this really happened. Nobody knows who it was with. No, because she hasn't said anything. Nobody has said anything, because it happened in industry company. It happened in the house, and what goes on in the house stays in the house. Now you can have speculation. Somebody could be running their mouth, but there's no proof. You know what I'm saying? But to do that on the Oscar stage, live on the
So
Oscar,
what I'm hearing from you, if you can correct me if I'm wrong, is that his reaction to it was okay.
no,
However, it was just not okay in
it
front of
was
an
not okay at
audience.
all to me. I don't think that you should ever put your hands on anybody, especially at a time when we're living in the midst of basically a war, not just with Ukraine, but with Black people and a lot of other races in America, where you walk out the door and just because you are Black, you look aggressive, or you look like this, that, and the other, that someone can pin something on. No, like, not the biggest box office movie star in the world who just happens to be Black. No, you should not get your ass up on the fucking grand stage of the
I get
Oscars
that.
and hit anybody,
I
like,
get
for no
I
reason.
I get all of that. You can't tell anybody how to react. You cannot tell
You
anybody how to
cannot
react to a
tell
certain
anybody
situation.
how to react, but there are consequences and there are ramifications. And I love Will Smith
And
just
there
like
are.
everybody else. But that was foul, Will Smith. That was not right, bro. Like, I love him. He is an amazing actor, an amazing person.
Yeah.
But I just feel like in that moment, it just didn't have to. I just wish it would just go away. Right? Like,
Can I
I don't
also
want them
like
to take his Oscar. I don't want him to go to jail. I don't want him to do
I
nothing.
don't think they're going to do all of that.
Oh no, they're considering.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, they're considering.
So here's the thing. I don't condone violence at any point. I'm a type of person who's very level-headed. In the midst of a situation that's very heightened, heated, and everything else, I am more of a rational thinker. Like, I'm not going to be very irrational about a lot of things. So no, I don't condone him in his violence. But like I said before, you can't tell somebody how to react and how they're going to react, because everybody doesn't have that sense of, self-awareness and self of like, you know what, I need to calm down, I need to be like this. I also feel as though that at that time it was blatant disrespect in front of the world that what Chris did. And for
But what
that,
did
his
Chris
repercussion was that
say?
I'm going to blatantly
Harry,
disrespect you
Harry,
in front of the
Harry.
world as well.
Okay.
Because at this point now,
So,
you've made it a point to attack my wife, not once, not twice, probably 3, 4 times at this point now. Keep my wife's name out your motherfucking mouth. Because obviously you don't understand. I probably told you off camera beforehand, and you were talking about her back in
and that's what,
2016.
and now if that's the case,
That's probably the case. I done already told you back then to keep my motherfucking name, keep her name out your mouth, and you
here's
still
where
did
I
it.
find
I'm gonna really
difficulty
show
at.
you.
Like, it's like, okay, cool. Like, I get what you're saying. Like, the me side of me is like, hell yeah. Okay. Do that shit, Willard. Okay. From West Philadelphia, born and freaking raised.
Okay. Let me tell you about them Philly boys.
Shit.
They do not play. Huh? But here's the thing, because I think it's just the breed of the city, honestly, because those Philly boys do not. Let me tell you, my good girlfriend is a Philly girl, and she don't play either. She's about them hands. She's about everything about, like, you disrespect me, I'm disrespecting you. I don't care the time, place, situation. If the opportunity is right there and you in front of me, I'm going after it.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend is very, very mild mannered, calm and shit like that. But she put that Sorry. She's a pit bull in a skirt. She put that skirt on. She coming up and she's throwing hands. So I totally get it. The Philly boys, they just wild like that.
I got it. I just wish it didn't happen there, and that it was. I'll say this, okay? It may have even been. It may have been the perfect thing to do, just a horrible freaking time to do it. A horrible time, because
who's to say
even
when the time
beyond that.
And I don't
Baby,
think at this point, who's says
he
the time
has
and
an
place?
Oscar. Has anybody really talked about him winning Best Actor today that you heard of?
That's the part that I do hate, is that
Is anybody talking about
doing
he's
that.
the best actor? He has the Best Actor award. A Black man. Like,
yeah, I mean, I get it. I get it. And then he has put out an apology. Did you see that?
He has put out an apology. Yes,
put out an apology.
I can read it.
Yeah, please read it for the people. Within his, I mean, the apology that he did give when he was giving his speech, it really wasn't an apology to Chris. It was just more so an apology to the Academy and how he did react a little bit.
Yeah.
But in this apology that he's posted on Instagram, he's really stating an apology to Chris himself.
He says, violence in all of its forms is poisonous and destructive. My behavior at last night's Academy Awards was unacceptable and inexcusable. Jokes at my expense are a part of the job, but a joke about Jada's medical condition was too much for me to bear, and I reacted emotionally. I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line and I was wrong. I am embarrassed and my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be. There is no place for violence in a world of love and kindness. I would also like to apologize to the Academy, blah, blah, blah. Y'all go on Instagram and read it. I love Will. I know that my frustration comes from, first of all, being an actor, right? I know how you can create a character, even though King was Serena and Venus' daddy. Richard Williams, even though he's a real person, Will Smith still had to develop this character. And I recognize that sometimes you can learn a lot from a character. Right? And psychologically, you begin to adapt those things that character exuded because it feels good, right? If you notice during this award season, Will Smith had been talking about in his acceptance speeches and stuff, protecting women. And that's what he resonated with Richard Williams, is how he protected his family of women, right? To this day, he's protecting his family of women. And I think that Will Smith in that moment saw Jada's reaction, because Will laughed. Will chuckled.
Yeah.
He saw Jada's reaction and something in him triggered it. And he connected back to that, whatever he found with Richard Williams, honey. And he said,
I totally agree with you, friend.
Because Richard Williams was, he didn't care about a camera. He doesn't care about it. When you would see old interviews about Richard Williams, he would ask the interviewer a question. So what you think about it? Like, he was just that kind of person. And that was the thing. Not to say that Richard Williams would, cold cock somebody on camera.
Yeah. That's not it. That's not what we're talking about.
But the courage and that protection, right? It was good to see in the theory, but the reality of the matter is it was completely inappropriate. I'm glad that he's issued an apology. Yeah. I prayed for Chris Rock last night. I prayed for Will. I prayed for Jada, because to be smacked.
To be open-handedly smacked in front of,
to fall in front of
people.
Right? Millions of people is embarrassed to be smacked.
Can we talk about the other end of Chris? Literally, like, for him to continue with his spiel and to be on stage.
Ow. He didn't grab his face. He didn't run. He didn't punch him back.
I've heard so much about, like, I just feel like he's a better man than a lot of us, because I'm sure that there would probably been a squabble that would have probably happened if somebody came up to you and openly smacked you like that. It would have been a fight, right?
Not during the commercial, not during setup, not 30 seconds to on camera, live.
Just fuck you up real quick, all right?
I was mortified.
back to the whole protection thing. Um, to me, this is just my opinion. I feel as though that maybe Jada has spoken to him and told him how much that he does not show up and protect her. And maybe that was his moment of
My mom
saying,
said something to
I'm
the
going to
like.
do this right this time, and I'm going to protect you. And this is my moment to show you and the world that
My
I'm
mom,
here to protect you.
my mom said something very along those lines. Um, no, no,
At,
now that could have been because okay, so
yeah.
so here we are, right? I'm an actor, and Will Smith is an actor, but Will Smith is an actor. Something happens right in this career where you start to analyze everything and everybody, and you're very aware of your inner objective, right? And that's that thing that's going to give you the gumption to go after what you want, because in every scene there's a goal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like you are definitely onto something, that because that action was motivated. He
Mm-hmm.
saw all the times that she must have cried in his arms, and all the times she was depressed, or whatever the battle she's battling has been like. He's seen it. And that was the motivation he needed to do that scene. I think he thought he was in a movie.
He thought he was
Something
in the
had to be,
movie.
because to walk up and smack the fool out of somebody on live TV.
But it kind of seemed like it was kind of like a whole scene because he like the way he moved back and he smacked him. It was just like
Like,
it almost seemed like
what?
very animated. Like it was
And
just
I
like
want to know, I know Oprah is they plugging up the cameras right now and getting the lighting together, because I know she got the exclusive interview. Oprah, I know you getting ready, right? She getting her hair curled.
Jada gonna sit him down at the red table.
Oh, now, baby. Oh
Jada
no,
is not
Oprah
about to give
has
up
this.
this moment.
Oh no,
Jada is
Oprah,
not about to give up this
baby.
moment because
Oprah
Jada is
is
trying
gonna
to take
have
this
this,
red
and
table
Jada is
talk
gonna be
to a
sitting
whole
right
new
there.
level.
Jada gonna be sitting right there next to. They're gonna be in Oprah Garden,
You're
purify.
right. They are gonna be in their whole
It's going to be her and him together, and they are going to have an exclusive 90-minute interview on ABC. Uh-huh. Yeah, I already see it. I already know what's going to happen. So I need to see this, because and Oprah, please, you have to ask him, what were you thinking in those seconds while you walked on that stage?
yeah.
Because you had to have been thinking something to get up, to walk up those stairs, walk down the like, what were you thinking? Were you thinking, oh well, everybody's watching?
Everybody's watching. What am I going to
What am I
do?
doing? I'm already up. I'm committed to this. I have to go with it.
I think that's why he
I'm
more so had
committed.
the chuckle on his face because you know how like in certain situations and like you don't take things seriously. You're just like kind
Again,
of thrown off yourself, and you like, am I really about to
but
do this?
again, as actors,
Is this
we're taught,
happening?
when we make a choice, commit to that shit. See that
So
shit
that's what he
all the way
did.
through. If
That
you
because
start
he
that
probably got
choice,
up and he was like, should I go up? And then he
Will
was like,
Smith was
all
all
right,
instinct. That was all instinct.
let
That
me just
maybe
go
that's what it
ahead.
was. It was all instinct. Well, I just feel like, Will,
I want to
I
bring up one
love
other
you.
point before we get
Wrap
this
this
thing
on.
going.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I want to talk about the whole thing and how he, even in his apology, he mentioned like, me being an actor, me being a person of, of comedy and stuff like that. I understand jokes
Yeah.
and jokes are okay. I want to talk about how, jokes and things like that. I don't think that people understand the extent of quote unquote what jokes are and how they are funny. And it's only
Yeah.
funny when, people talk about certain situations. I don't think that a lot of jokes were or things were funny. Like, even talking about situations like with Chadwick, and when people were calling him the crack panther, and he had to delete his whole IG situation, and people were still talking and laughing about that. I didn't think it was funny when they were talking and they didn't understand what was happening with Tracy Braxton, and she was posting pictures leading up to, her demise at this point now, and things where people were talking about her because she hadn't publicly said anything that, hey, I'm battling cancer. People were making jokes and shit about her. Black Twitter was going off and everything else. We have to understand that we may see it's funny, but other people don't, and it's something that they're dealing with in real life. So I think, and I would caution people to going forward. If you don't know the whole extent of something, don't try to make those
So
type of
do
jokes.
you think that we're living in a different time now? Because
We are
I
definitely
remember
living in a
a
different
time when you
time.
had shows like Def Comedy Jam, and you had, comedians like Richard Pryor and Monique and amazing Lunel, amazingly talented Cheryl Underwood, some more talented Bernie freaking fucking Mac. You had these talented, amazing comedians,
Mhm.
and they didn't have a censor.
They did not. I think it was like you said, it was a different time. And I honestly feel like a lot of this and a lot of sensitivity comes with people is because of this pandemic. This pandemic has showed us a
Like I said,
lot
everybody's
these
up in
past
arms.
2.5 years
Yes.
like, of us dealing with this shit.
Yes.
People are
Yes.
not the same anymore. Like
Yes.
we've been in solitude, and it's
Yes.
just like things are
And
so
then to
much
do
different.
that on top of developing a new character that you fall so
Mhm.
in love with, it wins you an Oscar.
Yeah.
It's man.
It's big. I will say at this point, Will, even this, I'll just say the Smith family, they have literally made history. Okay.
Yes.
They have been
Yes.
making history
Yes.
over these past couple of years that we've been in this pandemic. They've been
Yes.
making history
Mm-hmm.
with the whole entanglement situation, with this situation. They're always going to be referenced and known for these particular things.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if that's a good thing as far as them being a power couple, but sometimes the talk is all talk is not all good talk, but all talk is talk. And that's what it
Yeah.
is. They've made waves in this situation about all of this. And
I just hate that it happened, man. I
I
just
I
wish
hate
we
that
could
I hate that
rewind
it
it
happened. I hate that it
and
happened as
finish it.
well.
I felt like I was at the barbecue or family reunion, and Uncle Will and Uncle Chris got into a fight, and I'm sitting here like, dang, man. And everybody
Mhm.
laughing and shit. And
Yeah.
Uncle Denzel went and broke him up, and cousin
Yep.
Tyler went and put his hand. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, dang,
It
why
was
they
a lot.
beefing?
Why
My
they
heart was
banging?
racing. It felt very family. It
Hmm.
felt very, and you wanted to protect and you wanted to understand, but then you wanted to give Will Smith a spanking. And Will Smith, I've wanted to give you a spanking for a long time. Jada, I'm sorry. I love you, Jada. But what I'm saying is
Wow.
I wanted to discipline him, spank him, not the other spank that I wanted to do ever since Fresh Prince. You know what I'm it was just it just
It was a lot. I also want to just give a shout. I want to give a shout out to the host of the Oscars, because they did a good job to me. I was
Regina
very
Hall.
entertained with Regina Hall and
Mhm.
Wanda Sykes and Amy Schumer.
Yes.
Amy Schumer. I was very entertained. I chuckled a few
But they
good
went in
times about
too.
them. No, they did.
They
They
went in on
surely
some people,
did. They
honey.
did. Ooh.
They went in on some people.
I think it was more so Amy that went in on a lot of people. It
They
was
all
because
did.
they all talked about people. Yes, I think that Amy probably went in a little bit more than the other two,
Yeah.
but that's because she's a white woman. They're not gonna
Oh,
really
well,
say shit to
I
her
just
anyway.
see it didn't have to come to that, friend.
I'm just saying that's what I feel like. I mean,
Amy
let's call a
Schumer.
thing a thing. I no, I love her. I love her. She's funny as
She's
hell.
amazing. And she was in on the she's the joke she made about being a white woman that calls, on the black people
Yeah.
she's good.
No. I'm not taking anything away from
Oh,
her.
okay.
She's amazing. Yeah. I felt like she was more so making the more underhanded jokes because they knew that they could, they wasn't gonna get at to
Yeah.
Regina and them to do that because that wasn't in good taste. They
Yeah.
black women and they hosting the Oscars. They want to be invited back.
I get it. I
But
have to take those because it's messing up the volume. I spent a lot of
okay,
time in this
get this
Oscar
hair
look.
together. This
Okay. And
glamour
it's
hair.
giving it's giving smushed. So I can't do the earphones anymore. Sorry, I can hear you just fine though.
That's fine, baby. But
What
you
was
take
your
it off
best
when we.
dress? Let's take it from here. So of the night, out of everybody that was at the 94th annual Academy
Hmm.
Awards, who was your best dress pick? And then we're gonna wrap this thing up and get ready for tomorrow.
I think for me, I had a lot of great people. If I had to choose one, whose look that I actually really enjoyed,
Oh.
and it was giving me a red moment. It gave me a pantsuit looking. What was her name? I forgot. Du Bois. What's her name? That one for West Side Story. What is her
Oh,
the outly open.
yes. What's her first name? I don't know her first name. The boy is her
Du
last
Bois
name.
is her last name.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't
yeah.
remember her first name, but that pantsuit woman with the big coat, it was just like that was beautiful to me. It was very elegant, and it
Yeah.
was giving me what I needed as far as for the drama. There were more people that I fucking love too, but I just can't really just think back. I think I'm mixing both that and the Vanity Fair after party together because there was a lot of great moments during that party that I just fell in love with as well. I think it was more so that I saw more good shit there versus on the actual red carpet. But who
Yeah,
was your
it did
favorite?
seem like that. I don't think I had a favorite. I think Wilmer Vlad, what's his
Ooh,
Wilderrama? How you
run up,
pronounce his last? Wilmer, the boy on that seven.
what the name is? Is that wine getting to you, honey?
What's his name? How do you pronounce it? Wilmer Valderrama.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He looked amazing. That was really all that I really just liked. Oh, Niecy Nash looked incredible.
Oh yeah, she did. Ooh, she looked
Niecy
really
Nash
good.
looked incredible.
She looked good.
Tiffany Haddish looked incredible. I wasn't mad at. Never mind. Yeah, that's it.
Wait, bro, who was you about to talk about?
Beyonce looked.
Oh, Beyonce looked.
Incredible.
She looked incredible. I think from
really
her,
good.
it was very flawless. Like even down to the makeup, it was very light. It was very natural.
Yeah.
There was not an arched eyebrow. There was not.
She took it to the Pretty Girl Hurts side ponytail.
Yes.
Yeah. What is it? Pretty Hurts? That video. Yeah.
And speaking, I love the performance. When I tell you that I was really not a really big fan of that song before I actually saw it performed, and I was just like.
I don't get the song. Like I like it, I just don't get it.
Yeah, me either. That's what I said. I was like, I've never been like the biggest fan of that song at all until she performed. I was like, oh my god, I love this song now. And maybe I just got to love the performance. I mean, Beyonce just elevates anything that she puts.
Well, that's how I was with her with Dangerously in Love. When not Dangerously in Love, Crazy in Love. When Crazy in Love first came out, it was her first little subtle situation. I did not like that song. I saw her perform it at the BET Awards, and I was like, that song is and now it's like it's a classic. So sometimes you need that performance to give you that extra nudge.
Speaking of performances, let's talk about Megan and her performance. I think that was a big moment for her as far as a crossover moment.
I didn't get it.
You didn't have to. She was performing at the Oscars.
I love Megan. She was
performing at the Oscars.
That is such a huge opportunity.
That's a huge moment for her.
I just didn't get like where she came in with the Encanto movie. Like I didn't get it. Like
maybe you didn't have to, but you saw her.
I would have loved to have seen her present or something, or I just didn't get the.
I needed her to perform just like she did because she's a performer and she's trying to make it known that she's a great rap artist, and that's what she's doing. And I think her being signed to this new label and everything else, and I think that they're really supporting and backing her about a lot of shit.
Yeah,
I think this is it.
Oh, she's with somebody new now.
She's with Rock, with Jay-Z and them.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
so I think that they they try to cross over their artists all the time, so people know. So them white people don't know who the fuck Megan Thee Stallion.
I think she's great there. I honestly think she should be over there. With what's it called? Beyonce's place.
Oh, Parkwood
with Chloe and them. I think she should be over there. Yeah.
No, I don't think that's a label for her. No.
Why?
No, I think that's more
first rap artist.
She could be, but I don't think that's a thing. No. I think Beyonce knows her lane, and I think Chloe and Halle is definitely where she's supposed to be. Speaking of Halle looked really, really good.
She looked decent.
And it was her birthday. She looked she looked really good. She's a woman that's growing into herself, and I felt she did an amazing job presenting and stuff too.
She did. Now we ain't putting pictures of all these people.
No, we not.
Okay. No. So listen, can I be transparent with y'all because we family. Now see, when we had this idea to do this podcast, it was an idea. Mm-hmm. And we had to use the resources that we got. And when I do those pictures and I go and post and I edit, those pictures be large. And
Large and in
it
charge.
does a lot. Okay. So y'all know who we talking about. So when y'all watching the show, go to Google and Google and then look at it while you're watching. Cause that'll help it. Cause y'all ain't gonna see no damn not right now. Okay. All right. Well, Perry, I love you so much. I'm glad we had to jump on today and talk about this because it's everywhere, and I don't know where we go from here. Maybe this will be, of course, a red table talk with all of them, including Chris Rock. I just hope this doesn't set us back, because now that you see Will Smith gets aggressive on a whim.
Baby, I think he's opened the door for a lot of motherfuckers that want to be slapping people.
Not even that. Right. I'm thinking about the brothers that's gonna get pulled over today, tomorrow, next week. You know, with the white officer that loves some Will Smith and might give him the benefit of the doubt because of Will. It's a lot, Will. It's so a lot. It's a lot.
Will he recover from this? Definitely. But it's still gonna be talked about. It's gonna take time.
Shout out to my girl, one of my inspirations in acting, the incomparable, the amazing Anjanou Ellis, who did not take home a golden trophy last night. She looked amazing.
Sad about that,
but she was nominated. She's been in the game for years. She is an actor, honey.
When Will gave his speech and he called her out, and he was like, "I'm protecting you."
And I've never even met the girl. I am the woman. I've never met the woman, but I have always, and you know, I have always, whenever I see her on the screen, I'm like, okay, all right. She's amazing.
She's paid her dues.
She's
like,
amazing.
And it's time for her to be recognized.
So it wasn't this time, Anjanou, but I guarantee you it's coming. It is coming, and it is going to be
coming
even more amazing. So
that night is going to be so special for her, and I'm gonna probably cry some tears because I see the work she's putting in.
Yeah, and maybe you actually need a night of your own, Anjanou. Maybe you don't need the weight of a Will Smith winning Best Actor. Maybe you need the best actress.
Let me tell you how God will set you up on time. Okay. He knows the timing.
Listen.
He knows the timing.
And hopefully I get to be in that movie that with you.
Oh, that part. Okay. Speak it into existence, honey.
Speak it into existence. I get to be that Oscars with you, just saying, hey, mama. Okay.
Let's go. I'm supporting actress or whatever. Come on.
Listen, I ain't got to be nominated. Just let me come. Just let me be a part of the movie and let me come. I want
to dress somebody on that carpet because there's a lot of people I want to take.
Would you be? Well, see, friend, I already said Christian Siriano was going to be my first designer, but maybe for the Oscars, you can be my designer. So maybe for like the Golden Globes and the Emmys, I can do Christian.
Okay.
But for the Oscars, I can do Perry.
Well, Christian is an actual designer. I'm just a stylist, but I get what you're going with it, and I'm gonna help you out. But we're going to take all this together. Anyways, guys, this was great. This is one of our special editions for it. Can I just reference that this? Oh, damn, you going there at the neck. All right. Can I just reference that this is our 9th episode, which is 9 is very important to us. So we just want to give a shout out to that. And we love you guys. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. And thanks so much for tuning in with us. You can find me on Instagram at PWEE. That's four E's. ZY.
Yes. And you can find me in the bed next to you.
I don't think nobody would be there. You ruin everything with these shoulders. You see them shoulders, they act out at the end. I'm glad they acting out at the end and not in the middle of the whole situation. Put them bitches up and go to bed, okay?
Whatever, y'all. I love y'all. Peace out.